you doing? I'm doing very well. I must say the weather is making me really happy. Now I really don't want to go away anymore from here. It's just perfect. It's so nice to go around and walk around. Today is a good day for a new Canada facts video. In this one, I will talk about some more practical things and facts and stuff about us living in Canada, especially from an expat perspective, and most of all European perspective, and even more Italian perspective. Number one, you have to learn self-control. Italians are not famous for being controlled. We are really passionate people, a little bit like hot-tempered sometimes. We just say what we think. We don't filter. We don't filter what we have in our mind. We just say it, no problem. And usually in Italy, if you do this, it's really appreciated. Here, this attitude can come across as rudeness. I'm learning it the hard way because in a lot of situations I was just being honest and it wasn't exactly appreciated as I hoped. I always say what I think, I always express my feelings, also to strangers, but here is not something that usually you would do. Being polite here in Canada also means to filter. Filter a lot what you have in your mind. You don't have to say exactly what you think. Often here people find frankness as embarrassing, impolite, or even rude. Sometimes I'm so afraid to talk straight to people because I feel like they're going to break into pieces because they're not used to that. Canadians are really careful of the words they use because they never want to come across as rude or impolite. So during all these months, I've really been practicing a lot the art of self-control because I don't know, it's a bit hard for me. Number two, you have to learn to be polite. It's really impressive how kindness and politeness are just like a big part of the culture here in Canada. Everyone is polite. I've never thought, that someone was being impolite to me. It never happened to me, while in Italy it happens to me every day. People will say sorry to you a lot, for no reason, for whatever, for everything. People just say sorry because they're just walking next to you. Just because they get in your way, they just say sorry. The first months you will notice this a lot and then you will get used to that and probably you will start say sorry a lot too. Also, when you talk to somebody, also if it's a stranger, also if you're just talking to a waiter in a restaurant or a cashier in a shop, they will really be polite to you and they will always say bye to you in a very specific way. People here just don't say bye. You have to say take care, have a good one, which means like have a good day, have a good night, have a good weekend. It means have a good everything. And you say that also if this person is not a friend. To make you understand how kindness is important here in Canada, I can show you some stuff. Look at this. They created an ebook about etiquette fails. When you just get transportation, people do a lot of stuff that are like unrespectful, and in Italy it happens all the time, and we don't have a book that just collects all this stuff. Here in Canada, they made it. They made a book about it. Just think about how etiquette can be important here in Canada if they make a book about it. Look what I found in a bathroom of a bar not so long ago. Have you ever found something like this in Italy or even in Europe? We want you to have fun, we want you to be safe, tell us if something's going wrong. Never happened to me, and I find that it's brilliant. Number three, you get a completely different supermarket experience. Going to a supermarket in Canada is completely different from going to a supermarket in Europe and in Italy, because here you can find basically everything in a supermarket. The choice is huge. You just get everything you can think of. You can get all the fruit you want, all the vegetables you want, all here. They don't care about the season, they just have everything always. Also, you will find a lot of international food at the supermarket. Asian, Italian, Mexican, everything. You get a lot of food, and usually in Italian supermarket we just get Italian food. There's no way you don't know what to eat here in Canada because there's so much choice that you will find something you like for sure. Of course, there's also a lot of junk food, a lot, but luckily there's also a lot of good food. You just have to be good in picking stuff and resist the temptation of buying junk food because they're really good in advertising. Junk food usually is always like super colorful. They really want you to buy that. Also, usually here in supermarkets, packages are all big, so big. If you live alone, you have to be careful of what you're buying because you risk to waste food. I live in Milan, and in Milan, usually at the supermarket, I find so many small packages for single people. I mean, in Milan there are so many single people, so they just make a lot of like small packages. Here in Canada, it's the opposite. Everything is super big, like family packages, and the more you buy, the less you pay. Pick up free and you pay too. It's always like that. They always want you to buy the more you can. And I must say, sometimes it's convenient. I find myself doing groceries less than I was doing in Italy because when I go there, I buy so much stuff. So instead of picking like, I don't know, 3 cans of tuna, I just pick up like 6. At the supermarket, you will find an entire area full of medicines that usually we don't find in Italy, and usually you also find a pharmacy inside the supermarket. Another thing that's a little bit less cool, I must say, is like ingredients. The first times I've been to a supermarket here in Canada, I spent like 3 hours inside. I usually read a lot the ingredients behind packages. I always read them, also in Italy, because I try to eat as natural as possible. Don't get chemicals, don't get artificial stuff. It's just, you know, a habit I have. I try to eat healthy. Here, it's a little bit more difficult because when you just pick up something that really looks like, oh, this is healthy, then you just turn it, you read the ingredients, and it's like, what is this? You just read a lot of stuff, a lot of words that you don't even know what it is. Now that I'm here since a few months, I've learned, you know, how to eat healthy also here in Canada, but the first month has been tough. I think I gained a little bit of weight and I didn't eat like super healthy at the beginning. It's not easy because you're just tempted a lot from stuff. But yeah, in the end, you will work out fine. Number 4, you experience a really strong sense of community. Here in Canada, the civic pride and the sense of community is really strong. People are so proud of where they live, are so proud of Canada, are so proud of Toronto, so they really respect where they live. They love it so much. And also they tend to respect people around. People like to stay together. They feel that they are a community, that we are here to stay together, to respect each other. People feel way more connected to each other, and it affects the everyday life and the way people treat each other and treat, I don't know, the city, the infrastructure, the services. People feel as a part of a big group. They don't just feel like as a single. If you will come here, you will just notice it. As soon as you will come, you will just feel it in the air. It's something completely different from Italy, because I think in Italy, one of our biggest problems is the lack of sense of community. Number 5, if you're young and you come to Canada, you feel like a baby compared to Canadians. Young people here are actually adults, like my age, but also younger than me. They have an adult life, you know, they just have a job since a long time, they probably live alone. While in Italy and a lot of countries in Europe, usually, you know, it's not possible to have an adult life when you're 25, 26, 27. Just because the economy is stronger here and the job market works better, it's easier to, you know, have a career earlier. You will feel like a baby. Some of them, they're already married, they have kids. Of course, they also have way more money than we have, so they can afford to live alone. I never met a Canadian that's still living with his parents. Number 6, you always get water for free. So water here is considered as something free. You will always get free water. Everywhere you go to a restaurant, you get free water. It's tap water, it's not like water in a bottle, but it's good water and it's free. You don't have to pay for that. Actually, as soon as they see that your glass is becoming empty, they refill it. They just give you water all the time. Also, if you go to a bar to have like drinks, they will give you free water, which is really amazing because it's good to drink water if you're drinking alcohol. So now I'm used to drink a lot of water, while in Italy we always have to pay for water everywhere we go. I found free water also at the train station. Union Station is the main station in Toronto, main station for the subway, for trains, for a lot of stuff. and there was free water. Number 7, you have to change your daily schedule. For example, people work until 5 p.m. while in Italy, people often work until 6 or 7 p.m. or even more. A lot of times you will find shops or offices closing at 5 p.m., which is pretty early for me. 5 p.m. here in Canada is like, time for freedom. You just start seeing a lot of people down the street, a lot of cars, everyone is getting out of work like at the same time. Also, restaurants are open all day. It doesn't exist like a closure time in the afternoon like in Italy. They're just open from the morning till night, so you can basically have food at any time of the day. But at the same time, restaurants will close pretty early. Here people have dinner at 5:30, 6, 7, not later than that. While in Italy, usually we have dinner at 8, 9, sometimes even 10, it just depends. So Italian friends, Spanish friends, if you want to go out for dinner here, you have to eat a little bit earlier than you used to. For today's video, that's enough. More Canada facts video are on the way. I will talk more about all those differences I've noticed between Canada and Italy. It will be really fun. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I will see you very soon. Bye guys!
Little girl, always picking a fight with me. You know that I'm bad, but you're spending the night with